There are real fears on the part of Arabs, and I'm sure you talk to a lot of them, who think once Gazans leave Gaza, Netanyahu's never going to let them back in.
Maybe, but I'm not sure there's much left of Gaza at this point. So, if you think about even the construct, like, Gaza was not really a historical precedent, right? It was the result of a war, right? You had tribes that were in different places, but then Gaza became a thing. Egypt, used to run it. And then, over time, you had different governments that came in different ways. So you have another war, usually when wars happen, borders are changed historically over time. And so my sense is I would say, how do we deal with the terror threat that is there so that it cannot be a threat to Israel or to Egypt, right? I think that both sides are spending a fortune on military. I think neither side really wants to have, a terrorist organization enclaved right between them. And Gaza's waterfront property. It could be very valuable to, if people would focus on kind of building up, livelihoods. You think about all the money that's gone into this tunnel network and into all the munitions. If that would have gone into education or innovation, what could have been done? And so I think that it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there, but I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up. But I don't think that Israel has stated that they don't want the people to move back there afterwards.
Wow. So we played that last week because it was shocking. I'm telling you, to hear a person talk about a place that is on the verge of a famine, where children, women, innocent civilians who have nothing to do with the hostilities are dying. They're losing limbs. They're, starving to death. Their children are starving to death. Pregnant women they can't even give birth to healthy babies anymore. There is no hospital. There's no medical. Right. And he's talking about, well, there's like nothing left. I think it's, very valuable beachfront property. Okay. And so now as the lead-in, I'm going to play you what their ultra right wing, and I want you to know that it's just like our ultra right wing. Okay, it doesn't represent, like MAGA in this country is about 1/6 of the voting population of this country. Okay? If you look at the party breakdown in the United States, right, you'll see a third are Democrats, a third are independents, and a third are Republicans. Of those 1/3 Republicans, a third are MAGA. So half of the third is a sixth. Okay, and that's a tiny smidge of America. And this uber right-wing settler group is a smidge of Israel. Most people in Israel are not happy about what's going on there. They're not happy about Netanyahu being their leader. They weren't happy before this happened. They weren't happy when he failed to keep them safe. They weren't happy when he refused to deal with the hostages first. And they're not happy with him now. And that's something that America doesn't get to hear. It's just cut and dried, right and wrong, and whatever the propaganda tells you to hate, that's what everybody's going to hate, and people are going to glom on. And the uber hard left in this country has gone so hard left that they're all the way over to the right now with this little smidgen of nationalism that's taken place. So this was Clarissa Ward interviewing one of Israel's, let's call her a MAGA, okay? Because this is an ultra-nationalist that also, she obviously heard what Jared said. Okay, because I want to play you how she starts her conversation by telling Clarissa Ward that there's an enormous amount of support for what she wants to do in Gaza, in America.
There is a very strong support from very prominent, from very, I would say, wealthy people, wealthy Jews.
In the U.S.?
In the U.S.
Can you name any names?
No, I cannot.
I can.
Back at her home in Kedumim settlement, Weiss tells us she's already enrolled 500 families.
I even have on my cell phone names of people who say, enlist me, enroll me, I want to join. I want to join the groups that are going to settle Gaza.
I have to ask you, though, because we're sitting here talking and we're listening to the call
I'm listening
to prayer.
I hope you are listening to it.
Which is a reminder, I think, of the people who live here, but also the people who live in Gaza. What happens to them in this vision of this new settlement with Jewish settlers even in Gaza City?
What I think about Gaza, the Arabs of Gaza lost the right to be in Gaza on the 7th of October. Yes, I do hear the mosque, I do hear the prayer. Things were different until the 7th of October. No Arab, I'm speaking about more than 2 million Arabs. They will not stay there. We, Jews, will be in Gaza.
That sounds like ethnic cleansing.
Okay. The Arabs want to annihilate the state of Israel. So you can call them monsters. You can call them cleansing of Jews. We are not doing to them. They are doing to us.
Okay, and this is the spiral. Okay, this is the hatred spiral. This is the spiral, and you know why? It becomes. You know what happens to it? Goes down the drain. Just circles the drain and circles the drain. The spiral does, and then whoo, down the drain. This is why Donald Trump is the center of attention. It's hard not to be the center when you're going down the tubes. It's hard to not to be the center when you're going down the drain. That's what's happening to Donald Trump, and that's why everybody is focusing on Donald Trump today, okay? But really, truly, what should be focused on today is the ceasefire as a result of Russia not vetoing the ceasefire after they were attacked by radical Islamists, which today even Putin had to admit happened. All weekend long, he was trying to blame Ukraine, blame Ukraine. He can't do it because they took people into custody, okay? And the people that they took into custody, guess what they are? They're ISIS. And they confessed because they want to take credit for their heinous behavior. They want to take credit for killing civilians. They want to take credit for shooting up a concert hall where a 1970s hippie band, yeah, they were called Picnic, were about to play, and they came in and shut up the whole freaking place. And you know, Russia is no stranger to terrorism because Russia is no stranger to a war in Islamic places and like leveling places like Chechnya down to the studs, down to the ground, down to ash. Okay? It's who they, Azerbaijan too. I mean, that's a war that nobody even paid any attention to way back in the day. Only reason why I know about it is because my friend Serge, a lot of you remember Serge, was so badly wounded in that war. He's Russian, and he was in a Russian tank turret and fighting in Azerbaijan, and he was fired on, and a missile went right down the turret, and 3/4 of his body was burned. He got skin grafts all over his body, Beautiful boy. That's the only reason why I know about that particular effort, okay? But why does this woman think what she's saying? She tries to say it's not us who's cleansing. Well, she also gave an interview to the BBC, and when the BBC asked her, are you talking about ethnic cleansing? She said, I don't care what you call it. I don't care.